Hello folks and welcome back to Rome Total War. I am Conistep and this is going to be part 23 of my Imperial campaign where I'm playing as Egypt. And in the last episode I have been getting closer to getting ready to attack the Parthian capital of Arsakia. Now I actually am on the move. I did send my mercenary army out ahead. And yeah, we may as well just keep on moving. It doesn't appear like there's any Parthian armies blocking my path, although there is some fog of war over here, so I can see if there's anything going on. It looks like there's not, so I don't have to worry about getting ambushed. So let's move you out, and then I have some armies down here that could get organized a bit better just to get ready for the push. And that's going to leave me with 2 generals in total, one leading the mercenaries. This is going to be Philopater. And who is he? Well, let me check. And then there's a Jehutimes Philometer as well. So let me see, who are these guys related to? So Philopater, 41 or 44 years old, he is a direct son of the previous ruler, Konomotep the Killer. And then, was it Philippos? Was that the other one? Or no, Jehutimes is over here. Jehutimes is the son of Kia. Okay. Oh no, Ptahhotep? Okay, I thought that was Kia. I guess not. Where's Kia then? Isn't he over here? Ptahhotep. Okay, okay. Who the hell's Kia? I forgot. Maybe he's passed on by now. In any case, that's going to be the 2 generals heading towards Arsakia, and that should be enough to get the job done. I probably can make some good progress in getting closer to the city. I might have a battle outside of the city against this mostly horse archer army, which is pretty scary stuff. Indeed. Yeah, that's a lot of troops and a decent amount of infantry as well. Not strong infantry, but enough to make me have to think about it. And the good news, though, is that if I attack this army while it is stationed outside of the city, then I can have a draw-out battle where I draw the garrison out to attack or to fight outside of the walls. And I reckon that could be good for me. You know, that could allow me to inflict a lot of casualties on the garrison army while they are not inside of the castle. So that could be very good. And in fact, I could make a play at trying to assassinate this family member, Thuxra. We don't know much about him. Let's see, can we spy on him? 100% chance of spying on him, so let's see. +1 to personal security. Okay, so that's not great. Yeah, it's going to be harder to assassinate because of that. What would be my chances? So this is my best assassin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 eyeballs of experience. And what would it take to kill this guy? 29% chance. That's not very high, is it? Did we get him? Holy shit, did we get him? Holy shit, we got him. Wow, Thuxra's dead. Damn, alright. So much for that, what was it, the swordsman ancillary? Was that what it was? Retinue expands. So Catamite, so +1 to agent skill. So now this is a 9 experience assassin. God damn, dude.
Assassin ready.
Not you, it's, Akoris the Killer. Yeah, man, watch out for him. Alright, well, there's going to be 2 more family members inside of Arsakia. I wonder if it's worth going after either of them. In any case, that's very good. Getting rid of Thuxra and his entire bodyguard unit is very powerful. You know, that's a good unit of soldiers that has been eliminated by that assassin. So, whew, man, that was awesome. Alright, sweet. So that's good. Now, there's something that's been weighing on my mind as I've been preparing to play this episode, because it's something that, well, has been weighing on my mind for this entire campaign, which is the exact ratio of the amount of peasants that I should be having to garrison my settlement. It's something that, while I have received, plenty of advice in the name of this is too many and I shouldn't have this many, and I get that. I can, even as someone who's really bad at math, I can kind of see how this is not working in my favor when it comes to my economy. If I'm paying, is it 100 upkeep? It is 100 upkeep per unit of peasants. So that's a lot of upkeep that I'm paying for these guys that probably is not worth the tax level that I have these settlements at. And if we look at these places, like for instance in Jerusalem, where I do have, what's this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 peasants. That only adds up to, and that's including, 3 units of desert axes as well. That's only 30% garrison, and the cap is 80% garrison, helping out the public order. So clearly the answer isn't to try to reach 80% for every settlement, right? I think at some point you just can't do it. I don't know what the exact numbers of that are, but right, it's just not something that you should be aiming for. And I'm curious, I'm trying to to draw some more specific advice from y'all, if you have any. I know that a lot of it's just, if you've been playing this game for long enough, you just have a feel for these things, and you just have a kind of a common sense answer, which you might not have a specific understanding of, but you just kind of know like what's too much and what, you just have a feel for, right? And I get that. Teaching and knowing are two different things, and I understand that. For me, I really pay attention to these specifics, and it's something that I can get kind of stuck up on for sure. It can kind of slow me down when it comes to how I learn things. And for me, and if I have to do this on my own, it's fine, but eventually I will figure out, after another 1,000 hours of playing this game perhaps, but eventually I will figure out like what is the amount of peasants that I want to have. And more specifically, like a better way to put this is, what is the percent of garrison allotment that I essentially require at different stages of the settlement growth, at the settlement level, that is. And also even in regards to when I've taken the settlement, having a more garrison presence, after I've just taken a settlement obviously is more necessary. But after you've had time to sort of work on the cultural penalties, which don't exist here in Sidon because I've always had this. But once you've had time to have your own, impact on the public order of the settlement, then you will require less garrison. And again, yes, I get this, but for me, I would like to learn over time what this exactly means. How many peasants? What exactly is the garrison number that I want to be aiming for? If you have answers to this, I would love to hear your thoughts on this. Probably the most specific answer that I've had in regards to peasants is one of my viewers has said like no more than 6 to 8 peasants for a settlement, and for me that's not, that's not very precise, because is that just regarding like the highest level, huge cities, and have 8 peasants? Okay, fine, but what about every other level? In any case, I can figure it out eventually, but if you guys have any comment on this, I would love to hear it. This is a conversation that for me, I might need to keep on having for a while, even if it's all obvious to you. These are things that I like to learn the real details of. Now, in that regard, I have this army of peasants that I have been intending to send to Scythia. Now, the initial scouting that I have put on these first 2 Scythian settlements has not been positive in the regards that they have way too many people living there as is. Like, they don't need my peasants. In fact, how many is this? Like, what's the 20 times 120? What is that? That's the admiral. And then do I need to like find out? Don't make me do math. I think, so like, oops, that's not what I meant to do. Let's see, because in, can you just find out how many men are in the army? In Medieval and Shogun, you can.
Sire!
In Medieval and Shogun, it will like it'll add it up for you, and you can kind of see how many men are totally in the army. And I don't think that that's... is that not in this game at all? What about in the lists when it shows the military forces? Okay, so it does show it in here. You can look at it. Okay, so now I need to find... So what's the captain's name? Do I have a captain? No one has a star next to them, so I don't know if I even have a captain here. Alright, so that's an admiral. If it's gonna be someone in the sea, right? So Captain Tahotem, Eli Mais. So 1353? That's the amount of people in the peasants' army? That seems to be the case. Yeah, 1353. I don't know if... Is that adding the fleet numbers as well? In any case, it's around that number, right? And that's a significant boost to a settlement that needs it, but it can be a real hindrance to a settlement that doesn't need it, right? If the Scythians just don't need my people, and if they just need money, then what the hell am I doing? You know? Now, it occurred to me that the Scythians might not need people as much as other barbarian factions because, and this is kind of what I was basing this off of, I had played initially like a practice campaign, maybe like the first 40 or so turns, 40 or 50 turns of a Britain campaign, and although it was going well, the main issue was the population. You know, it was slow going. And the base unit for the Britons is a warband, which is a 120-man unit. Same for the Germans and the Gauls. You know, these 120-man units can be difficult to, you know, have these factions tech up and also field large enough armies. And also not spending, you know, it helps, I mean, it hurts you growing your economy as well. So that can be a big problem. And I sort of use that thinking, okay, well, that's a barbarian issue. So the Scythians, well, they're barbarians, they might be having the same issues. And then, oh yeah, it occurred to me, their base unit, if I'm not wrong, I think I'm right about this. I think their base unit, their tier 1, is a unit of horse archers. So what's that? Is that a 52-man unit on this unit scale? Let's see, horses are 54-man units. So that's less than 120, isn't it? And even if they aren't training horse archers, even if they are training their infantry, I think they have a archer warband and an axe warrior, I believe. And, you know, those are also going to be smaller units, 80-man units on this unit scale. So they might not be going through population kind of like the other barbarian factions are. You know, that might have been a misconception based on just my you know, handful of turns playing as the Britons. So I don't know. They might just need more money. And if I just dump a bunch of people into their settlement, that might end up doing more harm than good, because that would be causing squalor issues, I believe, right? That they might not have the funds to really deal with. Now, gosh, it's just hard to believe that it wouldn't. In my heart of hearts, I feel like giving them these men are going to help out in the long run. What if I, you know, drop these guys off and immediately follow that up with another lump sum payment to them? That's an idea. And I do wonder how their war against the Dacians is going. They are at war with the Dacians, and they do have an alliance with the Germans and the Seleucids. That's good. And I feel like I need updated map information as well. I feel like that could help me understand how things are going against the Dacians, because the Dacians, according to this, you know, information, they still hold this town up here, which seems like it's kind of in the Scythians' wheelhouse. So, you know what? Let's get down to this, and let's see if we can update. Can we do map information from the Dacians? And they don't. Come on, guys. That really bothers me when I'm just offering them map information for map information. They're like, no, we can't afford that. And I'm like, what? That's not what I said. All right, let's go. Let's try to talk to the Scythians. And can we talk to this guy?
Them at once.
Let's say you are one influence diplomat, so yeah, I don't, maybe that's... yeah, see, that's... yeah, I can give you trade rights, but I still want map information. So can we do that? Come on, guys. Oh boy. Yeah, I'd rather do this. Can we do this? They will turn it. It's too generous. If I'd asked for money, then maybe. So see, I don't want to ask for money from them though. You know, like I'm trying to help these guys out. All right, let's not talk to you anymore. Let's just let's move over here and let's continue talking to these other factions and just, you know, maybe we can get some map information from someone and try to get an updated picture of what's going on. So far, this isn't going quite as I expected. The Brudii are just offering me money for nothing, and the Thracians also just offered me money for nothing. They offered me like 114, and eventually I accepted because why not? And same thing, like I just want map information. I don't want money, but they just won't give me map information. Yeah, I guess I'll take the money if I have no choice, but
I will speak with them.
Can we not do this? I mean, oh my god. This is so bizarre. Okay, well,
Your obedient
let's keep
servant.
trying here. In my Julia campaign, I just attempted the same thing of, you know, getting map information from everyone, and like, you know, it's just, it was a very similar thing that happened, except that eventually I was able to get map information from some of the factions, so yeah, so far this is not going how I expected it to. After failing to get map information from everyone, it's making me wonder, because as I mentioned, I literally just tried this in my last episode of my Julia campaign, and I was able to get map information from some people, and I'm wondering, I really am wondering, because again, going back to what I know about the diplomacy system in the Rome Remastered, there is, let me try to remember what it is again. It's reputation, reliability, and something else. Relationship, I think, between the two dealing factions. Reputation is how you're viewed, and then reliability is how you, I guess, how you've, like, you know, acted or whatever, something like that. And I wonder, or no, is it power, the strength level, isn't it? That's part of it. It's relationship, strength, and oh shoot, I should probably look at that again. I can't remember what the three things are, but I think that strength level is part of the thing that goes into the negotiation aspect in this game. And it's making me wonder, because Egypt is so powerful and rich, and I got some stuff, you know, I get some decent territory. I'm wondering if that's what it is, right? So the value of my map information is just so high that no one feels like that they can match it, when I'm literally just asking for map information in return. And in fact, nor could they feel like they could afford it in a monetary way either. Like, they couldn't even afford to pay me for the map information that I have because of, yeah, because of how much I see. So that's interesting. That's interesting. I wonder if that just means that I would have to go around paying people for their map information then. You know, like, if mine is too valuable and nothing can match it really, then should I just have to pay people for theirs then? It's a funny thing, isn't it? It's kind of weird, but that's kind of the feeling that I got just now as I was attempting to do this. So that's kind of frustrating, but yeah, maybe I can try that next turn, start throwing some money around. Maybe, I don't know. I really want to spend money on my own stuff. And I was thinking though, because, you know, having the Scythians, this is like one idea of mine, right? Is to set them up, to prop them up and have them kind of take over the northern-ish half of the map. And if that includes mostly being able to put some pressure on the Brutii, then that's something that I would really appreciate. Now, that leaves the other, you know, Roman factions kind of by themselves, right? And especially the Scipii, who are really dominating here in North Africa. I doubt the Numidians are going to be able to hold up for very long, and that's going to leave, you know, the Scipii on my border pretty soon. Now, I don't want an alliance with the Numidians, because I intend on taking North Africa myself at some point. So if it comes down to war between myself and the Scipii, I suppose then so be it. That's just what's going to happen. However, if there's some sort of pressure I can apply to the Julii, that would be nice. Now, I don't really want to prop up the Britons, because I feel like the Britons, well, ideally, the Scythians, as I've mentioned, could take over northern Europe. In my mind, at least. You know, I could be wrong about this. But what about the Spanish? The Spanish seem to get left to their own devices. Now, they have a very poor unit roster. Their armies are kind of crappy. They have a really good heavy infantry unit, but other than that, their roster is pretty bad. And if I look here at Arsakia, they do only have 7,000 people in their capital. And this is a meeting hall. It can train Iberian infantry. So I imagine this is not their tier 3 settlement. I imagine this is not... So with only 7,000 people, a minor city requires 12, right? What am I doing? What am I doing? I have to go over here. And over here... And does it tell me anywhere? 12? It doesn't just tell you, does it? I think it's 2,000 for this. And then is it 6,000 for this? Oh, goodness. I don't know. I don't know yet. I haven't memorized these things yet. Where am I? So it's 2,000 for a large town. So I imagine that's 6,000 for a minor town. That's... right? That's what that means? So that means that Asturias could become a minor city if they just had money. But I don't know anything about the other Spanish cities. Anyway, I'm tempted to get an alliance with them and to consider to prop them up as well. And if they are having population problems, then maybe I can start sending peasants their way instead of the Scythians. Yes, that's an idea. Would they even want an alliance?
I will speak with them at once.
This is, I have 5 influence on this guy, so... Is this something that they're... no, okay, so... They are not really keen on that. Let's see, is there... Let's just give them...
I will speak with them at once.
Let's just give them some money. And maybe if I give them some money... Just offer it as a gift, and... Maybe after a couple of turns, maybe they can start to, think about that a bit more, and they might reconsider our offer of an alliance. We'll see. In any case, alright, so those are those ideas, and I will continue to monitor that as it goes down. Now back to the domestic issues, right? So we just have a archer brigand here that needs to be surrounded and dealt with. Now I've had this happen multiple times where I think, hey, they can't go anywhere because my zone of control just surrounds them, and then I attack with overwhelming force, and then they somehow like squeak away, and then they can get to the other side of a river that they should have no chance of getting across. And it's very, very annoying. So, I'm going to learn from this. Let's actually break off my Nubian cavalry. And let's put them, like, here. And let's make sure that we surround this single archer just so that it can't squeak away. And now let's crush him. So yes, he can't get away anywhere. And now he is a dead man. No need to waste any time on this one, so let's just go on ahead. Got my general about to line up, and Nubian cavalry are about to head on in. Let's just mop these archers up nice and quick, because I know that I do have other... Oh, I actually picked off one of my general's bodyguards. How about that? But now they are fleeing, and we will crush them, and just like that. That's it. We lost one guy, but he will be recovered eventually, so... There we go, and there's a couple more brigand dudes. I think I want you back in Thebes, I believe, right?
Mighty General, my liege.
So let's put you back there, and then these forces can make their way back up to Memphis. Okay, so there's this brigand army here as well, 4 units, and you guys are going to deal with this brigand force of Eastern Infantry next turn, and then you will be placing down a watchtower up here to just get a bit more vision on this little dark zone, this little fog of war. So as far as troops that can deal with this, I do have something. I do have a Ptahhotep here. He's 7 years old, so we'll see if he can make it. We can put him there. And then Desert Axes, we can bring them here. And can we bring down, we have some Egyptian chariot archers that also can make it. Awesome, sweet. So let's do that then. Oh, come on. Come on. Oh, shoot. We didn't surround him. That's so annoying. Fine. Next turn we'll just have to surround him and actually make sure he can't run away. that's so... Oh, I was literally just talking about that. Alright, anyway. At least it wasn't like a river that he just kind of hopped around, because that happens too. That's super annoying. Okay, you're going to continue keeping an eye on the Seleucids just to, you know, make sure that they behave themselves. And up here, yes, this needs to be sorted out, and these armies need to start moving on their way.
Mighty General.
Now, this army is full and it is ready to move on out, but I'm a little bit worried about this city here. Susa, low taxes, 85%. How much is the garrison accounting for? 35%. And I only have 2 units of peasants in here. I can't continue to train more. But can I even move these guys out?
Mighty General. Sire. Mighty General.
What happens? How bad is it? It's bad. 60%. It's oh man, it's kind of close. The execution square 10%, that's going to get up to 70%, and I think it's done. Yeah, it's done at the end of this turn. Oh, it's so close. And those peasants are going to help as well.
My liege.
But I feel like I have to leave some guys behind. You know what? I think 2 units of Nile Spears. I feel like I have enough of them, honestly.
Splitting the troops.
That didn't do it. That only raised it 5%. Damn.
My liege.
Well, what about 2 more units of Nile Spears? Alright, we're in the blue now. Yeah, 75%. That's gonna have to do, I suppose.
My liege.
So now these forces are gonna be kind of... Oh, they can't all fit. Can't all fit. Let's see here.
My liege. March.
Okay, just had to merge a couple units together, and now it's fine. Alright, let's start moving them up then.
My liege. Mighty General.
Yeah, you guys can move together, and this army is gonna hang out for a moment and wait for these armies to catch on up. Because I do want to move together. I don't want them to get caught out here and, you know, obviously beaten and surrounded. I really want this little campaign to work out, because if we end up losing this battle and we can't take Arsakia, then it's going to take a very, very long time to build my forces back up again to get them back out here. That's just going to be pure suffering. And this spy here, I was keeping this spy here because I wanted to see, and a viewer has mentioned that this that spies can lower the culture penalty over time, and I've seen no evidence of it, and it's hard to distinguish between the culture penalty being fixed due to, you know, building buildings and having that replace the older culture's buildings, and then any perceived effect of the spy. It's something that I can continue to keep an eye on, but at the same time, I'm paying upkeep on a spy that's being used essentially as an experiment. So it's, yeah, it's a little bit tricky to justify keeping them there, but, you know, we can continue to keep an eye on that and see if that moves the needle in any direction. I noticed that it is at 20% right now, the culture penalty that is, and I believe it was at 40%, you know, a while ago. But again, you know, I've built buildings that belong to my culture, so, you know, like the Counselor's Chambers, I believe I built that. The practice range is eastern, the Stonewall's eastern, militia barracks is eastern, communal farming is eastern, cavalry stables is eastern, markets eastern. Ooh, I still have the large temple of Zoroaster here. Ooh, shoot. Okay, I have to destroy that, but I can't do that now because I need that public order bonus that it gives. Blacksmith is eastern. Okay, so I've just built the sewers. Pretty much. I've built the sewers and the Counselor's Chambers, and that's all I've built so far. So would that have accounted for a 20% increase in culture penalty? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how that all equates, but that's something I can keep an eye on. For now, though, I do have a bit of money to spend, so I can continue to build up another army. It's something that I have been working on ever since I realized that this license might be eyeing me up. And then realizing that maybe having one army to keep an eye on both Palmyra and Antioch might be a little bit too much to ask if this license ever did try anything. So I have been building up my forces and working on getting another army going. One building that is standing out right now is the Merchant's Quarters here in Thebes. Getting the Merchant's Quarters is going to be increasing my income by, yeah, a fair bit here. So that's probably going to be worth getting, and that's going to be most of my money for now. So let's go ahead and get that, and that's probably going to be it for this turn. Although, you know what, 1,000 denarii, I could just kind of send that their way. Oh yeah, I can't even talk to the Scythians right now, can I? Okay, well, I was going to give you guys some more money, but maybe I'll just hang on to that for now. I am now all set to end this turn, so let's go ahead and drop a save, and let's get a little bit closer to Arsakia here. Yeah, I'm looking forward to finally moving on this settlement, but there is so much that I'm looking forward to in this campaign. There's a lot of interesting aspects here. It's nice to be able to focus on things that's not just domestic, but also the foreign aspects as well. I feel like in my Juliet campaign, it's just really like, it's just really like tunnel visioned in on, you know, like the next Gallic settlement that I need to take, just because I can't afford literally to focus on anything else. Here, having a bit of freedom and money to kind of throw around and play around with has been very fun for me, so I've been enjoying that part of this campaign. Yep, sitting on 11,000 feels okay. And what do we got? New family member, Neferites. Sounds like a girl's name, maybe, but how would I know? Translator, +2 influence for one of my new. I'm training up new diplomats here in Alexandria to replace the older generation that's going to be dying out at some point. So that's good. And yep, we got some buildings. Hey, holy shit, a lot of buildings were finished up in that last turn. And there's no way that I can afford to start building projects in every single one of those settlements, but we will see how that goes. And yeah, we get some troops coming along as well. you, sir, can make your way back up to Memphis.
Forward.
Just to hang tight around there. And, oh, what would you know? Some more brigands. Another unit of bowmen. Yeah, how fun. How fun that I get to keep on fighting brigands for the rest of my life.
No more moves, sire.
So, let's see. Philippus, Philometer, do you want to come out? Or actually, faction heir time. You know what? It's probably your time. You know? You are the faction heir, and you probably should get out there and do some fighting. So, how about it? You're more of a scholarly man, aren't you? Yeah, that's you kind of look that way. Feeling poorly. -2 from your general's hit points. Okay, that's not great. That's not great for a faction heir that I plan to send into battle. But you know what? Let's just be very careful. How about it? How about it? And speaking of being very careful, let's surround these buggers and make sure that they can't get away from us.
Sire. Orders.
How about that?
Forward.
Oh, come on! How did that work?
Sire.
How? What?
Engage the enemy.
Seriously?
Victory. Orders. Forward.
Okay, at least we can get him here. Jesus, that was gonna freak me out. Alright, archers, eastern infantry, peasants, Arab cavalry. Alright, well. I mean, it ain't nothing, but I do have 2 units of Egyptian chariot archers, so that should be enough to get the job done. We are going to get set up a little bit over on this high ground. This is a little bit better than down there, I would say. So let's see where they start out. And yeah, they're going to start out over there. So let's just bring our infantry up here and general can hang out. And let's use our Egyptian chariot archers to as best effect as we can. Having 2 units of them, maybe I can actually make use of that Cantabrian circle here because they do have a unit of archers themselves that could be potentially distracted by my Egyptian chariot archers. In fact, they shouldn't have any real counter to my chariots. Arab cavalry should probably stay clear of my chariots. Yeah, this should be a good weapon for us in this battle. Now, I do not think that setting up a Cantabrian circle amidst all of these boulders is going to be a good idea. I find that chariots just, don't do well in this type of terrain. So what about if we move a little bit over in this side and maybe get up on that part of the map? And then maybe I can move my axeman a bit closer. Now I am just about in position with my chariots, and I'm thinking at this point, so I'm still not in range of anything. And my army is split up now, which is kind of an uncomfortable feeling for me. I'm wondering what that Arab cavalry is thinking about doing. But at this point, I'm wondering, so can I set up this Cantabrian circle with you, and then just having you kind of set up here in a firing line behind them? And you just see what happens. Yeah, just kind of play around with that. Let's see, archers are moving up to like sort of threaten my axes. So let's push them back. And now, ooh, Arab cavalry is also kind of pushing as well. So can we push? Yeah, they're not really doing much, are they? Does it just take them a long time to get into Cantabrian Circle? Because yeah, it says stop Cantabrian Circle, which would indicate that they are in it currently, which, yeah, I thought the Cantabrian Circle involved running around in circles. I didn't know it meant just not doing anything. But what do I know about chariot tactics? Okay, now they are sending their eastern infantry at me, and it's probably time for me to get my chariots into... Let's just back them up a little bit here. And Arab cavalry, are you guys actually going to charge out at me or no? Yeah, 2 units of Egyptian chariot archers teeing off into these eastern infantry. We should be doing a fair amount of damage into them. And if we charge on in... Now that they're fleeing, yeah, there we go. We've broken that unit. And now, can we get this unit into Cantabrian Circle to potentially skirmish against these archers? Are you gonna do anything or no? I could have sworn that I've seen chariot archer units use Cantabrian Circle before, but am I mistaken about that? Or is it a unit scale thing? Like maybe in higher unit scales they can do the Cantabrian Circle, but there's not enough units to like form the circle right now? I really don't know. Yeah, I am curious about why this is happening. So if you have the answers to that, I would love to hear your thoughts on the Cantabrian Circle for Egyptian chariot archers. And on that note, I suppose you can also include any experience you have with the British light chariots as well. Now, those do have a higher model count, so it might be a model count kind of thing. I don't think that certain formations work with not enough troops in them, I would imagine. That would kind of make sense to me.
Chariot archers! Yes, great lord!
Now, Arab cavalry seems like they want to start to come at us, so shall we counterattack here and then counterattack here? And are we going to be okay here? Let's see, man, one of our units got absolutely wiped out. Holy smokes. Yeah, chariot archer units are definitely weaker. Yeah, wow. Well, I mean, we got rid of the Arab cavalry, but yeah, that one unit got absolutely smushed. Wow, holy smokes, that is a learning experience, and that was fast. I didn't even like leave them in there for very long. Like they just got wiped out. All right, now the archers are kind of starting to shoot at us, so I think we should probably back up a little bit. If we can draw them towards us, that should be fine. But now that the Arab cavalry and the Eastern infantry have been dealt with, now we can kind of just move in here with our axes and our general and wipe out these peasants and these archers, which we probably could have done just in the beginning, but I wanted to definitely play around with these units and see if I could get that formation to work. But yeah, it's really kind of finicky, isn't it? Let's go on ahead and send my general down here to fight off these archers. And yep, my axes can come over here and they can start hunting down some peasants. Seems like these archers might want to consider... Yeah, general's moving down, so let's send archers here and general here. And then axes here and then here. And you can run, please, if you would be so kind. And yeah, so these archers are going to get cleaned up by my archer chariots and my general's unit. And these peasants hopefully are going to get charged by my desert axes before they get a rear charge into my general. There they go. Peasants are starting to turn around. Let's get my... There we go. And end that battle. So yeah, we lost way too many chariots. But again, just figuring things out here. Just figuring out how these units work. And yeah, it's weird how that formation did not work. I could have sworn that I've seen it work, like in a video or something. Maybe I was watching a video or something. Anyway, moving on. Retinue expands. Tahotep, Eastern Turncoat, so +1 command when fighting against Eastern enemies. Interesting, because like that was a Brigand's army, not technically an Eastern army, but I guess you could say it's an Eastern Brigand's army. Yeah, kind of funny how that works out, but you can go back to Basra, and then these two units are going to have to go back, and luckily a lot of casualties were healed on the chariot archer units, but they can go back up to Palmyra, where they can get retrained, and then you guys can go back to Jerusalem, because why not? That looks good. Oh yeah, and you guys, yep, that's fine. Now everything is fine. You can come down here and hunt down, is it one? Yep, one Eastern infantry. Go ahead, and is this... Yeah, it's still in Palmyra. And the slices are right there, aren't you? Yeah, I should probably get some watchtowers. Yeah, up in Palmyra too, right, that's right. I should have some more watchtowers up on this border as well. So let's deal with these guys first. Now, this is a weak-looking army that I have. Luckily, we're only going up against one unit of Eastern Infantry because, my goodness, look at this army. And, yep, the enemy is way up on a hill, and it's not looking like it's super approachable, like, any better from any other side, if I'm being honest. I mean, I could go all the way around to the right and get on even footing with it, but the fact that I do have Bedouin archers makes me feel like I can sort of lure them down off of the hill. That's kind of what I'm thinking. And by now I did think that my archers would be able to hit their enemy. My goodness, are the range of these bows really are that short, eh? I know we are shooting uphill, but my goodness. We just have to get right up in their faces. Hey, there we go. Now we can hit them. Finally, my goodness. What's the point of... I was going to draw them off of the hill, but I'm on the hill. So, yeah, they're going to be charging downhill at us, but I do have my Eastern Infantry in close support. And my general can file in wherever he is needed. So, Bedouin warriors can come over here. Are you guys actually shooting? Is that something that you're doing? I see arrows flying, and it looks like we are picking off some of their guys. And we really are not doing a whole lot of damage here. So let's try to go around their flanks here. Maybe we can get some shots into their flanks. And if not, just try to get them to charge out at us and we can hit them from the rear here. Because yeah, shooting uphill just into their shields is really not doing the trick here. Yeah, we've only got them down 4 men. And do they want to turn and face the archers, or do they want to charge on into the spears, or do they want to charge into our general? They might want to charge into our general, so let's charge in with the spears, and let's get the general around over here. And now we can shoot on into their rear. General can do a little bit of a rallying cry. And let's go ahead. You guys go off fire at will. Oh my god, my general died. Oh my god. No freaking way. That's ridiculous. Oh my god. You charged into the rear of a spear unit that was already facing guys to the front. And yeah, you guys don't have to... And I lost the battle. That was that. That's insane.
The enemy has stolen victory, leaving an ill-deserved defeat.
That
as
is
a stain on your
insane. That is ridiculous. That's... Oh dear. Okay. So that's worth talking about because that was something that was brought up after... It might have been the last episode of this campaign, actually, where I was fighting a rebel army, I believe. And I think that was a Judean army, actually, because I'm pretty sure that I had charged into the rear of a unit of Judean zealots, which is a, fairly solid unit. And I charged into the rear of that unit with a, I think it was like a Bedouin warrior unit, I think. So camels, right? Like not the best unit for... fighting a decent infantry unit with spears, but I was charging into the rear of that unit, and that unit was already fighting like 3 units of my own Eastern infantry. In fact, it might have been this army, actually. It might have been this general in this army that had fought that battle, and yeah, that Bedouin warrior unit just got melted. Like the first line of it died almost instantly upon hitting the rear of that already engaged unit of Judean zealots. And it was mentioned by a viewer that has been looking into this as well, that light cavalry just should not be charging on into heavy infantry, even if it's in the rear. And that this is the result that happens. Now, I will admit that I sort of forgot that. In some regards, I forgot that. Here's the thing, though. is that it was mentioned by this viewer, and also he was mentioning a Legend of Total War video that also kind of talks about the same thing. And it was mentioned in that video as well that this is more of an issue specifically when we're talking about light cavalry, or maybe also like light camelry. And these units just should not be charging heavy infantry essentially like any situation, right? Unless they're already routing, I guess, is the only situation. But, you know, charging light cavalry and light camelry into the rears of these units is just a really bad situation. However, my understanding is that I thought that this didn't really matter, though, for heavy cavalry units. And I assumed that a general's bodyguard unit counted as a heavy cavalry unit, right? And also, my understanding was that when you have a general's unit make a rallying call, that the general himself, he stops and blows the horn so the rest of the unit kind of goes on ahead of him. Therefore, if you want to keep your general safe, you can kind of call a rallying call, and he will kind of end up at the back of the unit, and he won't die like they just did. That was a bizarre thing. Like, I feel like it's one of the situations where it's like, okay, come on. What, you know, I feel like, what's going on here? You just don't charge heavy infantry. And that wasn't even heavy infantry. This is Eastern infantry. This isn't even Judean zealots we're talking about here. This is Eastern infantry. It's the worst infantry unit in the game. You know, I mean, it should have just lost to my Eastern infantry, Eastern mercenaries, you know, because I had more of them. It's a weird thing, guys. It's a weird thing. You know? So, I don't know. I feel like I did most of the things right there, and that's an insane result. It really, you know, there's no other way around that. That's a pretty weird one. Obviously, it's on me to learn from that and to make adjustments, but that really does go against most common sense that I can come up with, you know, and not just common sense, but even like game sense, like my understanding of the game mechanics. That goes against pretty much everything that I understand about, this video game. So I don't understand that. That's so weird. Heavy cavalry, eh? Do these not count as heavy cav then? Is that what it is? So like if we look in these units, like you can see right there, like probably not the heaviest, right? You can probably imagine that there's other generals bodyguards units that's heavier than this. Armor value of 6, defense skill of 7, and no shield. So that's not great, but total defense, you know, 13, you would think is like pretty decent. And then yeah, altogether on the charge, he's gonna have an attack of 17. That's decent, isn't it? Like, isn't that okay? Oh dear, I don't know. So, gosh, how many generals have I lost in this campaign? It's just an insane amount. It's ridiculous. It's just so many guys. So I need to bring back, you essentially need to make your way over here. I should probably just disband these mercenaries, honestly. At this point. Maybe keep the Bedouin archers. But even them, I don't know. There's too much shame put upon this army. I just have to disband you guys. Yes. And then just send out Tahoe. He's gonna die though. He's 7 years old. He's not gonna make it there in time. I highly doubt it. So if he's not gonna make it there in time, who is it gonna be? Like who do I have? Another governor nearby? Not really. I have 3 guys down here, and I suppose I don't need all 3 of them down here. Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to say. Maybe when I send out maybe when I send him out to deal with this army, this bowman unit, maybe I just keep him out here. perhaps, just so he can be a little bit closer to this side of the map, just so that I have more characters over here. In the meantime, I can just send these chariots and these axes out there to deal with this. Just a 60-man Eastern Infantry unit. That's so annoying because they're going to be causing devastation by the time I can deal with them. So that's just, yeah, very, very frustrating. Very frustrating. I don't really want to send you all the way out there. It's just too much of a jaunt. Takes you too far away from Antioch, if I'm being honest. A heroic death. My ass. That death sucked. Philippos Kasseros. That sucked, dude. Shitty life. It's a shitty death. Nothing heroic about that. Okay, so the Spanish have accepted my alliance. That's all it took. I gave them 1,000 denarii last turn, and all of a sudden they are willing to be my friends. Well, that didn't take much. Now, I'm going to start working on, let's see, military access. What is it going to take for that? So no, they're not ready for that yet, but I can consider to send them more money at some point. Maybe not quite yet because I do have a lot of buildings that need to be built in this turn. So that's probably not something that that I'm going to be doing quite yet. Yeah, Memphis needs something built, and then I know a lot of other buildings or a lot of other settlements are going to be needing some attention as well.
My liege.
Well, it is going to be a lot of money, but building the Merchant's Quarter here in Salamis is probably going to be the way to go here. So from 3142 up to 3312. Not the biggest jump ever, but it's you know, it's still on the right path, isn't it? So that's probably what I want to do. And then, I mean, with 1400 left, there's really not a whole lot that you can do with 1400 at this point in the campaign, I don't think. Yeah, I'm going to get some land clearance here in Palmyra, and other than that, yeah, I just don't see me being able to do much with what I have left, although I can train up a few more soldiers. Oh yeah, I can also train up another diplomat. Something else that I can start doing is finally I can start training the Pharaoh's Bowmen. Now I've been able to train these for a while now, I just hadn't actually started to prioritize it, but now I can actually, you know what, let's throw some money around and start getting some Pharaoh's Bowmen. This is a good unit. The long-range missiles is very good. And the fact that they have 7 armor, 5 defense, that's pretty gosh darn good. Good morale, good stamina. Combat bonus in the deserts, 10 missile attack. And yeah, even 9 melee attack with a 3 charge bonus. Like, it's not bad. They're not bad. Not bad. The 330 upkeep is steep, though. That's tough. That is pretty tough. Yeah, it's going to be better, like, once I start moving out all of these peasants and start disbanding them into other factions' territories. That's going to be a bit better. I suppose, gosh, do I even want to wait for this fleet to get back before I move out more peasants? Because I could start sending them to Spain right now. But then I should build more boats, maybe? I do have 2 biremes, but I only feel really comfortable with that. I just like using the biremes, sending troops like locally amongst my settlements, like in this little territory here. Sending my 2 biremes carrying a peasant army across the entire Mediterranean seems like it's asking for trouble. Now these 4 triremes I feel a bit safer with, but yeah, 2 biremes just doesn't seem, I don't know. I've been getting my ass kicked in my Julia campaign by pirate navies, so I'm a little bit afraid of them. And with that, another turn has been wrapped up, so let's drop a save and let's end this turn. Now let's get a little bit closer here. So, what? What did we wish? Oh, I sent my, that's funny. I had sent my diplomats to go talk to the Gauls 2 turns ago, and he has finally reached it, and now he's wondering what should he be doing. Yeah, do you just want to do that? You just want to do that? No, I don't. You know, we don't need to do trade rights. That's not something that we need to do. Okay, oh, the Parthian army is starting to venture out. And I don't think he brought any more generals with them. I think it's just a Parthian army, and they left the 2 family members back inside, right? Yes, so this is what we have, and they are making their way, and they are looking like they want to meet me halfway. Well, I mean,
Mighty
I
general.
have more men, so I like the odds of that. And maybe I can even surround them with my 3 armies.
Orders.
That could really help out against, you know, all of these horse archers. Ooh, yes. I'm actually kind of okay with that. Yeah. Anyway. Sitting on 10,000. Yep, okay. Faction announcements. So, Teos the Killer, assassin in Syria. He has died of natural causes. And then Shabaka, new family member. And Teti, new family member. And then what retinue expands. Wa Helios, linguist. +2 influence. And then you are, I would imagine you're in Alexandria. No, you're not. You're up here. Okay. So you're getting good. Let's get you, yeah, let's get you close.
Yes, my liege.
How many people exist here? Tell me it's not a lot. 15,000. God damn. 15,000. Yeah, the Scythians just aren't. Yeah, I'm not really sure. It's a minor city. So that's a minor city. I forgot what that is, but yeah, the only other place would be out here, and it's gonna take me a million years to get out there.
Yes, my liege.
Damn. Okay. Well, I don't even know. I don't even know anymore. I could still drop them off, and 19,000. Jeez, oh Pete's. 19,000. It's almost tempting to drop the peasants off and disband them into other factions' territories just to hinder them, because they won't be able to deal with the population influx, and then they're going to have public order issues. That's tempting, but also that feels kind of dumb. I don't know. Like, do that to someone that's like very poor, like the Dacians, in an effort to help out the Scythians in their war against the Dacians, but yeah, I don't know. I see that just seems a little bit too convoluted for that to mean anything. You know, because then if they take over those territories and then there's a bunch of people, then they would have to execute them anyway. So it's just like, what was the point? All right, Pharaoh's Palace here in Jerusalem. Okie dokie, that's pretty nice. Got some more soldiers recruited. Yes, yes. And what do I do with these freaking peasants, man? Because I'm really curious if this still belongs to the Dacians. You know? If that's controlled by the Scythians by now, can I know this? It's gonna tell me.
Get sail there, mighty lord. Great one.
So this is still controlled by the Dacians. That's what that means. Okay. And they have some Scythian nobles here as well. Yeah, not bad. Scythian noble archers, not bad. I would like to see them, you know, push back the Dacians. Well, gosh, should I just start sending, like, should I just reroute to those boats and start sending them to Spain then? You know? Like, send the Scythians money and then just send the Spanish my peasants? Is that what I should be doing? Or should I just give them all of these peasants anyway?
Ships ready.
Maybe what I can do is just split them up and just you know, disperse them across the territories. and then give them a lump sum anyway, and just say, hey, here's some money, you know, go bananas with it. Well, I do not know if Ptahhotep is going to make it out to beat these mercenaries in time, but you know, I guess he could just hire these guys and make his way, and then even if he dies dies of old age out in the middle of the desert, then at least these 3 units still exist. I did learn by having that last character die that by him dying, those mercenaries that he hired don't just disappear or anything. So I probably could have used those guys just to get rid of these last 60 men. That was probably a mistake on my part. I probably could have just went in there again with my, you know, whatever, 30 or 40 archers and try to just pepper down those last 60 Eastern infantry. Is probably what I could have did. Yeah. Well, something that we can do here is get a little bit closer to this Parthian army. And I'm wondering, you know what? I'm wondering if I tuck them up in here, where they're sort of behind this mountain here, is that going to be putting them out of sight of this army? Because I know that if you hide units like in forests or whatever, they can end up ambushing units. But what happens when you kind of stumble upon an army that is just around the corner of something that you couldn't see around? Does that also count as an ambush, or what? How does it exactly does that work? I'm not quite sure, but I can actually put this mercenary army up here, and then
No more moves, sire.
I can place these guys sort of like
Forward.
on the road.
No more moves, sire. Sire.
And that way, if he feels like attacking maybe the army that's out in the open, and that gets you know, joined by these armies that he didn't see, maybe that could end up working in our favor. I'm not quite sure, but I can see how that works. Here in Sidon, I am halfway finished with building the temple city to Horus, and that's the one that's going to be giving me, I believe, weapon and armors bonuses, I think, once it's finished. And I do want to team that up with the, oh, this is Horus. So what am I building here? Imhotep. Okay, so Imhotep's going to be giving experience, and then Horus is going to be giving, eventually it's going to be giving weapons and armor, right? Yeah, weapons and armor bonuses. Yes. So let's work on that then. Let's get the awesome temple to Horus. This isn't going to be the final tier. This is going to be the second to last tier, I believe. So let's get that going, and that's going to be, let's see, so we have some more money to spend. So we're going to be building the public baths here in Antioch, and Susa can start getting public baths as well, just to help out with the public order a bit more. And there goes most of our money. Can we get anything here in Memphis? Anything that's worth anything? Academy. It would be nice to start building schools again. It does seem like it's a bit of a luxury, but it is a nice thing to have. It does make a difference in the training up of the characters.
Your obedient servant.
Or I could just give this money to the Spanish and we can continue to work on our friendship. And then maybe eventually we can get that military access from them. But for now, let's just give them $1,000. Call it good. That's that. And then yeah, we'll see about where those peasants end up. I think that for these ones, I'm just going to split them up and then put them into the, you know, the territories that the Scythians do have. And then, yeah, I probably will couple that with a lump sum gift as well. And on that note, who is surprised that I didn't make it to Arsakia in this episode? Oh dear, I know. I play this campaign pretty slow sometimes, but I'm almost there. I'm almost there, I swear. I will be getting a fight, it looks like, coming up soon. And yeah, getting rid of that army is going to really help with taking Arsakia. This is the cavalry contingent, and once they are dealt with, I mean, this is pretty soft stuff here. Eastern infantry and hillmen. Yeah, pretty soft indeed. And it's going to be really nice to finally take Arsakia, because then we can sort of start to think about the Armenians and how we want to handle them. I have an idea of how I want this conflict, or this future conflict, to turn out. And also, I'm thinking, even though I did get the military access from the Scythians, I'm still considering taking this settlement from the Parthians and gifting it to the Scythians, just so that they have more of an economical base. But you know what? That is all going to have to wait until next time. As always, I hope you have enjoyed this one, and thank you very much for watching. This has been Concept playing Rome Total War. Thank you very much.